Hi, my name is Katrina Pickard, and I am the founder of Solomon's Porch Ministry, and we serve the unhoused population of the Oklahoma City area. At Solomon's Porch Ministry, hope is just not a message. It is lived out through the hands and feet of our volunteers. And today we have started a podcast called Hope Rising. And in this podcast, you're going to get to meet our wonderful volunteers who serve with compassion and hope and much needed love. And today I have with you Jessi Crino. Hi Jessi, and welcome. I'm so glad you are here.
Hey, thanks. It's super awesome to be here. Thanks for having me.
So Jessi, we've known each other for a while.
Yep.
Even before Solomon's Porch Ministry. And it's so wonderful to be able to serve with you at North Church on the production team as well. So when you heard about Solomon's Porch Ministry and throughout our conversations, what did you think about it, and what struck your heart?
Well, first of all, I'm also glad that we got to serve together on the production team, because that's what connected me to the Solomon's Porch Ministry in the first place, because I knew you and I heard about, this ministry that you're going to start up. So super glad that I kind of got the in on that a little quicker than usual. Maybe some other people might have heard about it. But what got me was the timing was really kind of a God thing, because he had been working on me over the past few months, maybe even a year, when it comes to the unhoused population. And it was just something that was stirring in my heart. Like, what could I do to help that population? It just felt like something that God was kind of nudging me towards, but I had no idea what, how, how God is sometimes, or he's just like, I'm going to give you this nudge, but I'm not going to give you all the details. You're going to have to figure that out. So that had been going on in my life for a little bit already. And then I found out that you were doing the Solomon's Porch Ministry, where you're helping the unhoused in the downtown area. And I thought, well, I guess since God has brought this across my path and he's been working with me already about this seems like probably God starting to give me a little bit of the details that he had not been giving me up at the top of things. So that's kind of how I heard about it. And then, like I said, it was just a godly timing thing that I was already thinking about, how can I serve this population and what can I do with the situation in Oklahoma City. So that's kind of what got me there. I think another thing, and you might have a follow-up question, but I'll just keep talking. That's all right.
Go ahead.
Another thing, the way that God had been dealing with me was that I live right near North Church. So I live right around the intersection of Penn and Memorial, for anybody that's familiar with that area. The traffic is awful. But one thing that is also, you're seeing more and more in that Penn and Memorial area is people on the corners, panhandling, asking for food. They've got some Curbside Chronicle people there selling the curbside as well. And because I'm just constantly in that area, driving around those areas, God just started highlighting to me, like every time I passed a corner, I was like, how can I do something for that person? And there's always a person,
Right.
Or 3 or 4, around the whole corner. So God had just been consistently reminding me of that. And he actually, there was one point where he did challenge me. He did give me some detail, because I was thinking, I wish I could help with the situation, but what can I do? I'm just one person. I can't, what am I going to do? And, a lot of times people say, you don't want to give cash to folks that are panhandling because you don't know what they're going to do with it. And I'm like, well, yeah, we don't, but we can still bless people. And that's not on us. That's on, how God wants to use the situation. So God literally, he was like, I'll bet you, that's what he does sometimes to me. He said, I'll bet you could, every time you pass someone on the corner who's asking for money, you could give every single one of them a $5 bill and you wouldn't even notice it in your bank account.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think so. I think I noticed there's a lot of people out here. But he was like, just give it a try. See maybe what happens. And so I did. And I'll be darned if I wasn't. So now it's kind of something that God has. He's just said, yeah, that's what you're going to do. Every time you're able and you're at a corner and there's someone there, $5. So that means I do have a lot of cash in my car. Generally, so it's probably something I should admit. But
well, they don't know what kind of car you drive.
It's true.
So
it's
you're
true.
good.
If you know me and you need $5, I can probably help you out. But yeah, that was kind of how God started it with me. And he gave me that challenge like he does. And of course he was right. But then, like I said, it started to grow beyond that. And then I got connected with Solomon's Porch, and we're just kind of growing little by little and just following where God decides it's time to go next.
I absolutely love that. When Logan and I were together, we would, his funny story is, we pulled up to an intersection and we were in the far left lane because we were going to make a left turn. And there was somebody on the far right median way over there. And he just started honking the horn and trying to yell at him, get their attention. And one part of me would have said, Logan, they're too far away to understand what you're doing. And another part says, way to go, Logan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just let him do it. And
Yeah.
of course, the light turned green and we didn't connect with that person.
Yeah.
But that was part of his heart as well.
Yeah.
And I can see that in the story that you just shared as well.
Absolutely. And I do that same thing sometimes where I'll start, I'll be like, I'm like trying to judge, like, is the light going to turn? Like, am I going to make these people mad? And then God is like, I told you to give them $5. I'm like, okay.
Obedience.
Yes.
Pleasing God over pleasing men, right?
I do struggle sometimes, but I'm getting better.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. I love that he put that on your heart. But I know there's another special area that you have in your heart, and that's for animals, especially dogs.
100%. I am a dog person all the way. Cats are great too. I just don't want them in my house. It's fine. I'm definitely a dog person. I've had dogs all my whole life, and especially as I've gotten older, I've gotten into the whole rescue thing. When I was growing up, my first dog was one of those like side of the road dogs. I'm from a really rural area, so
I am
how
too.
it is, like where they get
dumped.
They get dumped, or like you're just driving down the road and there's a cardboard box with a bunch of dogs in it and a guy that's trying to get rid of them for like $5 each. So that was where my first dog came from.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've had dogs throughout. And then as I got older, I was like, there's a lot of dogs out there that just need a home. Like, I don't need to look for a purebred puppy shenanigans. I'm gonna go work with a rescue. And I was at a point in time also when I changed jobs this last time, I was working from home. So I was like, what a great opportunity to foster, because I'm here all the time. So I started fostering dogs, and it was really great. Of course, I said I would love little dogs because I have a little house. And the first dog they gave me was a friggin' bull mastiff. Like, he was literally like 120 pounds. So I was like, okay, well, cool. But I got used to it, got him adopted to a family, and then I got my next foster. And this guy, I don't know, nobody came around for him. So it turns out he's mine.
So you were a foster fail.
I am a foster fail, 100%. And now I'll have a giant dog. He's not the bull mastiff, but he is also pretty big.
I love Gunner.
Yes. Gunner, he is a 100% couch potato, possibly house hippo. I've heard that as well for the pitties out there. But I love dogs. I just think they're fantastic, and I just like petting them and playing with them, and they're just so cute. And they're so trusting, and they're so... Like, I like that they need to be taken care of a little bit. That's the thing with cats. Cats are just like, they'll be fine. You don't have to worry about them very much. But I like...
Are you looking at me?
Yeah, exactly. With the dogs, like there's an aspect of, they need to be taken care of a little bit. You need to mind them. And that's what I like about dogs. And that is kind of what brought me the soft spot that kind of double hit me looking at the Solomon's Porch ministry. Was that you had mentioned you were doing things, to help the pets of the people that are currently unhoused.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh yes, we definitely have to take care of the puppies and the people. Right. So that was really like what clinched it for me, and I was like, I can do that. I can definitely help out with the puppies.
So you are our leader for our pet section.
Yep.
And we have seen a few kittens and small cats out there, but mainly it's dogs, and they have some of the most adorable dogs.
Yes, they do. And it's the companionship that you see when you're out there, like the companionship of the people with their dogs. Like, they may not have much else in the world, but they've got their dog. And that dog is also, looking to that person. So I just think it's really, it's one thing to take care of the people. Yes, we absolutely need to take care of the people. But like the people that are unhoused that we're trying to help, they're also trying to support their pets.
Yeah.
And they already don't have a lot of resources. So I don't want them to have to pull from their resources to take care of this dog, because their resources are already stretched so thin. So that's kind of where I feel like that comes into play in the equation. It's like, yes, the people are hugely important, and we have a heart for them, and making sure that they have what they need and they can get resources that they need. But they also are trying to take care of this other animal. So how can we help them with that?
I mean, in addition to food, we've actually given out collars and leashes and those portable water dishes.
Portable water dishes.
We even had some clothing, like the pet jackets,
some little coats.
Yeah,
we put some little coats because they might get cold too. They probably do get cold too, especially those little ones, those little chihuahuas.
Oh my goodness!
Well, freeze to death. So yes, we've had that as well, which has just been great, just to show that level of care, because that person cares about that dog, and if we are saying that we care about that person, we should care about what they care about.
Absolutely.
As well.
And that's how God cares about us.
Exactly.
He just doesn't care about our needs. He cares about our wants as well.
Yep.
And, as our church says, we're not made to live life alone. And for them, their pets are their lifeline at this moment. So I can see how God is just wrapped up in all of this. And
Absolutely.
it's amazing.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah. So if you had any advice to someone who wanted to start or become a volunteer with Solomon's Porch Ministry, and maybe they're thinking that they can't, or they're scared, or any other thing that may be stopping them, what do you have any advice for them?
I think what I would say is, if you haven't already been praying about it, pray about it. Because I think that God can kind of nudge you in a direction maybe that you hadn't thought about. Like you're trying to solve the equation on your own. Bring it to God first and see if he has anything that he might bring to your mind. And then I would say, even if you're not sure yet, you haven't heard anything specifically from God, just try something. If you're going to, like with Solomon's Porch Ministry, it's really easy to get signed up and just kind of come to an event and see where you can be plugged in. There's plenty of things to do, and you can try out different things, and you can see how you're affected by, building relationships with these people, or with the people that we serve, and see if that gives you some direction. It seems a little bit overwhelming, but we have a really good crew. I mean, there's a big team, and everybody's here to help. So if you can just get over like the initial new people, I promise you'll find something that'll get you.
Great advice. And, that's how our ministry has actually grown, because when it started, we only had probably less than 10 people, and we were providing a meal for close to about 40 people.
Yeah.
Now we're serving over 100 people, and we have haircuts, and we have the pet supplies, we have hygiene supplies, we have an RV that we converted to a clothing mobile.
Yep.
And in addition to all the food.
Yeah.
So, for that person who's wanting to join up or walk alongside of us, maybe their ideas is just one more to help stretch our ministry to help meet needs that maybe we haven't thought of.
Exactly. And I would say probably most of the people, well, you would know the roster better than I would, but I would say a lot of the people that have joined didn't join knowing exactly what it was that they were going to be doing, or what they wanted to bring to the group. So you don't have to wait for that to join. Just kind of show up, and
we'll put you to work.
Try it out. We'll put you to work, and you can see, and every person brings in a new perspective and new ideas, and we could, that's always great in a growing organization, to keep bringing in those new ideas.
Absolutely. So if you had a vision for the unhoused population, what do you have a vision? And if it is, what would it be? What would it look like?
I mean, I don't know that I would say I have this huge God vision about all of it. But I think that, obviously what I would love to see more availability of affordable housing, just little house. There's lots of cities across the country that are doing it in different ways, but providing little pods or tiny living spaces. But I'd love to see us have more of those kind of resources available in Oklahoma City, because I do think, I am not an expert on it. I've not really read a whole lot of research, but what I have read really does suggest that if you can get people a safe place to be, that is the first step you need to help them get back on track in life. It's getting them a place where they can sleep, have shelter without worry. And then from there, that's where you can really start building all of the rest of the resources that they need to get on the track that they want to be on. So that to me would be awesome to see.
Yeah, and that's actually in alignment with what Solomon's Porch Ministry overall vision is. We've explored getting a hotel room, which was run down, and that didn't work out. And we're exploring tiny homes, maybe a high rise, and you meet their basic needs, and then you form the relationships that they need.
Yep.
And one of the things that our focal is not just meeting needs, but becoming a friend.
Yes.
Becoming the mother or the father or the sister or the brother that these men and women have. So thank you for joining us. The heart that you've shared, the wisdom, the insights that you've shared today, it helps us bring hope that rises to the top as we move forward in our faith and in our actions. God says we have to have both, have faith and have actions.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing your why and coming on this podcast, and appreciate it so much. Because of volunteers like you, we can continue to impact lives for the better. And I'm excited to see what God is going to do this year in 2026.
Yep. Me too. Thanks for having me. Come on out and join us, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
It's a great organization, and let's do 2026.